After nearly a century of godlike powers, there's one thing about Superman that still stands above the rest that so many people overlook. And it's not flight, heat vision, or even super strength. Today, I'm breaking down the one ability that makes him more than a hero. The one that could save the world even if he couldn't fly at all. And it might surprise you. So we'll find it in the pages of the story, Superman Secret Origin. Written by Jeff Johns, Secret Origin was meant to be the definitive retelling of Superman's beginnings. And thanks to Gary Frank's incredible pencil work, the character even evokes the late great Christopher Reeve. It's a touching tribute to Superman's cinematic legacy for sure. The story follows young Kal-El's crash landing in Smallville, Kansas, where he's adopted by the Kents and given the name Clark. It tracks his early discovery of superpowers, his time-traveling adventures with the Legion of Superheroes, even a middle school encounter with Lex Luthor. As an adult, Clark arrives in Metropolis to work as the mild-mannered reporter we all know and love at the Daily Planet newspaper, where he's introduced to Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White. Though Lex is the central villain, Superman also faces off against other foes, like General Sam Lane, the Parasite, and Metallo. So Superman displays his greatest, most unbeatable power at a pivotal moment near the end of the story when he faces off with the US Army. So spoiler warning if you haven't read the comic. Here's the setup. After being ambushed during an interrogation by Lois Lane's father, General Sam Lane, Superman calmly walks out. But the general orders his men to stop Superman by force, testing his power under fire. But Superman doesn't lash out. He makes it clear he means no harm. Every move he makes is deliberate. Disarming weapons, disabling threats, never endangering lives. Enter Sergeant John Corbin in a LexCorp mech suit powered by kryptonite. The kryptonite weakens him fast, and I'm not gonna lie, Corbin gives Superman that work. But even as bullets start piercing his skin, Superman stays focused, not on winning, but on protecting all the soldiers around him. A ricocheted bullet knocks Corbin out cold and he's bleeding out. And Superman, seconds removed from being brutally attacked, tries to help him. But the fight spills into the sewers and Superman is forced to retreat, barely holding on. Meanwhile, Corbin is rushed into emergency surgery. His life's now in Lex Luthor's hands. Luthor saves him, but what walks out of that hospital is no longer Corbin. It's Metallo, a full-fledged kryptonite-powered monster, hungry for all-out destruction. Metallo rejoins the army's fight with Superman in downtown Metropolis, ready to wage war. He tears through everything and everybody, even his own men. Superman, weakened but unshaken, steps in again to try to reach the man Corbin once was, hoping to appeal to the last shred of humanity left inside the machine. But there's nothing left. And Metallo unleashes a kryptonite blast straight into the crowd, directly at Lois Lane. Superman throws himself in the line of fire, absorbing the kryptonite beam. And with his last strength, he disables Metallo's kryptonite heart and launches him straight into the upper atmosphere, where the cyborg finally shuts down. Back on the ground, General Lane and the army crack down on the crowd. Superman lands between both sides, and this is my favorite moment, not just in this comic, but maybe in any Superman story. The crowd asks him, "What do you want us to do?" And Superman doesn't give orders. He doesn't claim power. What's he do? He inspires. I want you to stop looking for a great savior. Lex Luthor isn't it. I'm not it. You are. All of you are. And they listen, not out of fear, but because they feel empowered. In that moment, Superman isn't a god among mortals. He's hope. He tells them, I do what I do because I was given a gift, but all of you were given gifts too. So use them to make each other's lives better. I'm telling you guys, this is the best. This scene has stuck with me for years. It's moments like this that make him Superman. Moments like this where he's at his most powerful. When he's kind and empowering others. He doesn't save humanity with just his powers. He inspires people to save each other by following his example. For Superman, character matters more than capability, and kindness isn't weakness, it's a gift. When he was a boy, overwhelmed by strange powers and alien origins, his parents didn't teach him to be afraid of what made him different. They taught him he was special because of his heart and what he did with his gifts, and that taught him to see different gifts in everyone else. His eyes can melt steel, see through walls, analyze molecules, but what makes his vision truly super is how he perceives people's souls. He wants us to recognize that every one of us has the ability to make someone's life better in a unique and individual way, great or small. That might mean saving lives as a doctor or a first responder, but it also might look like making someone laugh, making them feel loved, or just showing up with a helping hand when they least expect it. Now compare that to Lex Luthor. He owns over half of Metropolis, and every morning, like some twisted Willy Wonka, he steps onto the balcony of his ivory tower to proclaim his brilliance and dominance, offering one lucky citizen a chance at a better life, like a lottery. But behind the curtain, people vanish. Victims like John Corbin, twisted into a weapon under the guise of progress. Where Superman lifts people up, Luthor pits them against each other. So after he defeats Metallo, Superman delivers a final message to Luthor. You don't own us anymore. But Luthor fires back, you'll never be one of us, why don't you go back to where you came from? And Superman quietly but firmly answers, I've made Earth my home, and I'm not going to let you ruin it anymore. Superman will never offer hope like it's a lottery ticket. He'll never dangle help like a carrot. So long as he's breathing, he'll fight to give everyone dignity, honor, and a fair chance to rise. That's Superman. That's true power. So with the summer of Superman nearly upon us, Kal-El's triumphant speech in Secret Origin has been echoing louder than ever in my mind. Director James Gunn has made it clear that kindness and helpfulness are at the heart of his upcoming Superman film, even as the character navigates a world that's often brutal, commercialized, and deeply cynical. And that mission statement is exactly why this might be my most anticipated Superman movie ever. I've lived through Superman Returns in 2006 and the entire Snyderverse era. Both directors brought their own unique vision. Some moments I loved, others I'd rather forget. It's cool. So what excites me most about Gunn's approach is the idea of a bright, loving, and hopeful Superman soaring through a jaded modern world and standing firm in who he is. In my opinion, it's been far too long since we got unapologetic optimism from the character on the big screen, or that sense of charm and fantasy that brings out my inner child. The look and feel of the sets and costumes, a remixed John Williams Superman theme, every new tease gets me hyped for what's in store. There's a lived-in quality about the way the cast and crew discuss the film, like it's alive and growing before our very eyes. We often talk about Superman as the ultimate flat art character, right? Unchanged himself, but transforming the world around him. Well, judging by the marketing campaign, Gunn and company have something a little different planned. I want to see the Big Blue Boy Scout change and grow and be inspired by others, just like in Superman Secret Origin. And the latest trailers are promising us a story about a strange visitor from another world in a big red cape who is challenged in ways never seen before on the silver screen. This new Superman will see his muscles and his spirit tested by a world built on rules he doesn't always like to play by when lives are at stake. It's a fresh new take where Superman has to find a place to belong in a corporatized society made safe by brutal warriors. But are they heroes? Come July, we'll find out. We'll see if the summer of Superman can successfully spark something bold and new enough for longtime fans like me and a whole new generation. Because there's a lot riding on this. Not just for Superman, but for the future of the newly minted DC universe and the movies to follow. If they can pull it off is uncertain. It's a tall order, it's a big job. A job for Superman, don't you think? Oh, tell me in the comments about your favorite Superman comic book moment and your favorite Superman power. Thanks for watching.